Just confirm if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So write down the heading as differentiation. Just write differentiation. That's it. Okay. So I hope most of you would have heard this term differentiation, right? So yesterday when I asked you, people told me I've heard it. Right?
Yes, sir.
So what is this differentiation all about? So why do we differentiate? What is it we are going to get? So why do we differentiate things? And secondly, when do we know we are supposed to differentiate? Any idea? So you can just try it. As I told you, it's only a discussion. If you know, try, or else no. Not sure?
It is used to find the value of something with respect to another thing.
With respect to another. That's right. That's almost it. But when you find something with respect to another, mathematically, what are you getting? Actually, to be more specific, differentiation is not a physics term. It is mathematical term. Okay. So yesterday, do you remember I taught you a concept called as slope? Do you remember this?
Yes, sir.
I started with something called mathematical physics and I explained what is a term called as slope. So what did I say slope is? Slope, I told you there are two definitions. Slope is defined for whom? Slope is defined only for a line. So slope is defined as the tangent of the tangent means tan. Tangent of the angle made by the line with the x-axis in which direction? In the positive direction. So what do you mean by positive direction? It is the
Anti-clockwise.
So it is the anti-clockwise direction, right? So that is a basic definition of slope. Anywhere you go, that is a basic definition of slope. Okay. Then what is the slope of the line joining two points? This also I told you. There are 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2. The slope of the line joining these 2 points is given by the expression y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That is the difference in the y coordinates divided by the difference in the x coordinates. Right? So by now you should have understood what a slope means. And slope is defined only for a line. So differentiation is one of the mathematical tools. Okay. So differentiation is one of the mathematical tools, or I can write it as a mathematical tool used to find the slope of a tangent. Slope of a tangent to the curve at a given point. Okay, write it down. I'll explain what it means. Yeah, tell me. So did you write it down? Mathematical tool which is used to find the slope of a tangent to the curve at a given point. Meaning, if you have, let's say you have a random curve like this. Okay, not every motion is going to be a straight line, right, in this nature. So you can have a curve like this. Let's say a particle is moving from A to B in this particular path. So it is some curved path. So if suppose I want to find what is the speed of the particle at point P. Okay. So generally, the equations of the curve are given by the expression y is equal to f of x. If you know what is y is equal to f of x, it is nothing but a function. So it is a function. So at this point P, if you are able to draw a tangent, okay, then what will happen to the tangent? The tangent will cut the x-axis at some point, let's say at an angle theta. Then tan theta of this curve is what is called as slope of line. Guys, just give me a minute. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Got some personal work. Yeah. See, listen, tan theta is going to give you the slope of the line, right? So the slope of the line, this is according to the definition of slope. Then what this differentiation actually means is, it means it is dy divided by dx. Okay, if you are able to write something like dy by dx, this is called as an instantaneous value. That value can be anything. Okay, in this case, in mathematically, instantaneous value means it is actually the instantaneous slope. See, I cannot tell you beyond this point because there is a branch of maths which is called as calculus that is involved. Unless you know what is functions, domain and range, I cannot go beyond a certain point to explain you all these things. So as of now, only point that you need to keep in your mind is you understand what is the slope of a line. So you can calculate slope of a line under two circumstances. What is it? You can calculate the slope of a line under the circumstance when you have 2 points which are given on a line. Okay. Or the other slope that you can find is by differentiating the curve. So if they give you a function y is equal to f of x, by differentiating that curve, you can find something called as slope. I'll give you a set of formulae. That formulae is what you're going to use in physics. Okay. So I'm not teaching you the exact mathematical part because even if I teach you, it is difficult for you to understand at this point. Okay. So prepare a table like this, function, and the output of differentiation is called as derivative. The output of differentiation is called as derivative. So that is dy by dx. Okay. So how you write this? Let's say the function given is x power n, where n is not equal to -1. Then dy by dx is given by the formula n into x power n minus 1. So you have to memorize it as of now. When you learn it in maths, this is your, I think, your 11th or 12th chapter in maths. So there you will learn about differentiation. Okay. So y is equal to x power n is equal to -1, dy by dx is equal to n into x power n minus 1. Similarly, if y is equal to sin x, then dy by dx will be equal to cos x. Okay. Similarly, if y is equal to cos x, then dy by dx is minus sin x. So these are all the values that you are going to use in physics. Okay, one is x power n, sin x, and cos x. As of now, at least for this chapter, I can say. Are you clear with this? How to use, I will teach you. That part you leave it to me. As of now, is this thing clear, or is there any term that is confusing you? If there is any doubt, get it clarified.
So the power can't be any negative number, no sir, or only it should not be minus.
It should not be only -1. It can be negative number. It can be a negative number. Okay. So similarly, I'll give you some more extra things also. Y is equal to, if I have f of x plus g of x. See, the other way of writing dy by dx is, if suppose y is equal to f of x, then dy by dx is one of the ways of writing derivative. Or the other way is, you put f and you put a line like this on top of it. You read it as f dash of x. Okay, f dash of x. So what I'm going to do is, here, if at all I have sum of two functions, f of x plus g of x, f of x plus g of x, or f of x minus g of x, then dy by dx will be equal to f dash of x plus or minus g dash of x. The meaning of this is, you're differentiating f of x once, you're differentiating g of x once, and you're adding or subtracting them depending on the question. Okay. Similarly, the other formula that you have is y is equal to, if you have f of x into g of x. Okay, y is equal to f of x into g of x, then dy by dx is equal to, it is written like this, f of x into g dash of x plus g of x into f dash of x. So have this in your mind.
What is G, sir?
G is some other function that I'll tell you. You first follow the formula. F of x into g dash of x plus g of x into f dash of x. Similarly,
Sir,
yeah, tell me.
so the dy by dx is equal to f dash x plus or minus subject one, or plus dash.
Plus or minus.
Here also, sir. For y also, sir.
For which one? This is only y. Y is nothing but sum of two functions. I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you. Write it down. You write it down. Unless you apply it, you'll not understand. Write it down. Similarly, if at all you have division of two functions, f of x by g of x, then dy by dx will be equal to g of x into f dash of x minus f of x into g dash of x divided by g of x the whole square. Okay, just write down the formula. Don't worry about what is f of x, g of x. I'll explain everything. Okay, so if you're done, let me know. I'll proceed. So here, first you need to know what is a function, right? See, generally functions in mathematics are written in this form: y is equal to f of x. Generally, f stands for function. It is not necessary that you need to use only f. You can use g also. G of x, h of x. You can use anything depending on what you want. So generally, the one which is there on the left-hand side is called as the dependent variable. Dependent variables. The one which is there inside the f is called as the independent variable. So wherever I use the word independent variable, means independent variable is the one where you are free to choose, you are free to substitute any value you want. I'll give you certain examples. So you have indirectly learned functions in your 10th standard itself. For example, if I give you p of x is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1, what will you say about this? See, I've learned this, right? So p of x is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1. What is this actually? This is a polynomial.
Yes, sir.
So polynomial of which degree?
2.
Polynomial of second degree. It's a second degree. It's not an equation. It's just a polynomial. Equation means you should have equal to 0. Okay. So when they ask you what is p of 3, what will you do? You will take this 3 and substitute it wherever in the place of x. So 9 plus 6 plus 1, whatever is the value, 16 or whatever is the value. right? So this P of 3 is called as the polynomial value, that is 16, and P of x is called as the, this here, instead of saying it is a polynomial of second degree, you will just use the term like polynomial function. Is it not similar? See, instead of f, you have p. Generally, when you used it last year, p stands for polynomial. P of x means what you're trying to say is there is some polynomial in terms of a variable x. Now, in these two, which one is dependent and which one is independent?
X square plus 2x plus 1 is dependent.
Dependent, right? So P of x is dependent, right? And the value x, the variable x is independent. Are you guys able to understand this point? X, I'm saying x is independent because I can substitute any value I want. It's not necessary I need to find only P of 3. Whatever value you say a number, I'm going to substitute it. So you are free to choose the number, whichever. So that number is being substituted in the variable, right? So whatever is written inside this bracket will be the independent variable. The whole equation P of x will be the dependent variable. Are you guys able to understand this point? So this is a polynomial function. The other example of what you have learned is x plus y is equal to 2. Okay. So if I write x plus y is equal to 2, then what is this actually? According to last year, you've learned it in third chapter. What is this? There's a linear equation and
Two variables.
two variables. This year, what you can do is, I will rewrite this equation in this way. Y is equal to, can I write it as 2 minus x?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, what I'm doing is, I'm trying to find out what are all the values of y that I will get by substituting different values of x. So here, when I say by substituting different values of x, who's going to give me the value of x? We are going to choose it.
Yep.
Right. So this I will write it as y is equal to f of x. So the same linear equation in two variables which we learned last year can be written in a different form by separating one variable on the left and the other variable on the right. So whatever is a variable that is there on the left is always dependent. If suppose I rate this equation as x is equal to 2 minus y, then what should I say? X is
the dependent variable.
x is the dependent, y will become the independent. Okay, but in this case, what is happening? Y is the dependent and x is the independent. Right, that is what you people will do. That's what you did last year. You took a tabular column,
Yes,
x value, y value. You substitute whatever value you want. You substitute 0 and see y value will come out to be 2. You will substitute 1 here, you will take 1. So you get certain coordinates, right? So if you are able to write an expression like this by separating the dependent and the independent variables, the expression that is there on the right hand side in terms of the independent variable is what is called as the function. So each function will be given a name depending on their nature. So here what did I say? I called it as a polynomial function because you have learned it as a polynomial. It is a polynomial in terms of independent variable x. So it should be a polynomial function. Similarly, y is equal to 2 minus x. You give me the name of it. So where did you get this y is equal to 2 minus x from? What is this? It is a linear equation in two variables. So what function should this be?
Linear function.
Linear
That's it.
function.
So it's a linear function. That's it. What you told is right. It's a linear function. As simple as that. Similarly, if I have y is equal to sin x, which is dependent, which is independent?
Sin x is dependent, y is independent. See,
Y is dependent, sin x is independent.
Yes. It's not sin x. Sin x is not
X
independent.
is independent.
Only x is independent because sin x is not like a variable. X is a variable. X is changing the value of sin. Okay. Similarly, y is equal to cos x. This is dependent. X is independent. Are you able to understand? So I can think of combining a linear and a trigonometric equation. So this is called. So what would be the name of this type of a function?
Trigonometric function.
That's it. This is what your third chapter is. That's why the name of the third chapter is not trigonometry alone. There's trigonometric functions in your math. Next time, observe it. We call it as trigonometric functions. Okay. So y is equal to, I can think of combining x square. If I write y is equal to x square, what will you say this as? Just x square is a polynomial equation. It's a polynomial. So y is equal to x square is a polynomial function.
So we can say algebraic function also, no, sir.
Sorry?
So we can say algebraic function also, right?
The algebraic also you can say. It's an algebraic function also. So I can think of combining an algebraic and a trigonometric function. It is my wish. So x square plus sin x. I can think of something like this. This is also a function. So if I ask you the specific name of it, there is no specific name. What will you say? It is a sum of an algebraic and a trigonometric function. That's it. Now, this x square is what I'm calling it as f of x. The sin x is what I'm calling it as g of x. So if you take them as f of x and g of x, then this formula is applicable. Are you guys able to understand? So that is what I wrote it as f of x plus or minus g of x. For example, if the question is y is equal to x square sin x, then what is dy by dx equal to? Then it is d by dx of x square plus d by dx of, you write it like this, okay? So d by dx of x square plus d by dx of sin x. So what is the derivative of x square according to the formula you people have? What is the first formula that I gave you? N
2x.
into, so
N into x n minus 1.
So n into x power n minus 1 plus what is the derivative of sin x that I gave you?
Cos x.
So what will be the answer? Are you able to understand?
So can I say what is d by dx, sir?
Derivative. So you read it like, so this is read as, if you want, write it down. Instead of saying dy by dx, in mathematics we read it like this. Derivative of y with respect to x. Write it down. It's called as derivative, derivative derivative of y with respect to x. Then how will you read it? So d by dx means derivative, I told you. So how will you read this? Derivative of what? What is the function inside?
Polynomial.
No, you can tell the name of the function is what. You can just read it out. Derivative of x square with respect to x. Then how do you read this as? Derivative of sin x with respect to x. Okay, so from next time onwards, don't memorize it like this. So from next time onwards, how you should read it is derivative of x power n. If I ask you a question like this, because we'll apply this many times, you should say n into x power n minus 1. If I ask you what is derivative of sin x, it is cos x. Derivative of cos x is minus sin x. Derivative of f of x plus g of x. What is it? Derivative of f of x plus g of x. How will you read it? Derivative of f of x
plus or minus derivative of g of x.
That's it. So derivative of f of x into g of x. So how do you write it? You will read it as f of x
into derivative of g of x plus
derivative of g of x. Very good. G of x into derivative of f of x. Okay. So this rule is called as product rule. This rule is called as product rule. Might be in your school they would have taught in terms of u and v. U into v dash plus v into u
dash. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's what is called as product rule. I'm just trying to explain in terms of functions so that you have better clarity. So f of x by g of x means it is going to be. So how do you read it? G of x
into derivative of x of x minus f of x into derivative of g of x by g of x the whole square.
G of x the whole square. Okay. See, the formula might appear big. I'm telling you, this might scare you, but absolutely, trust me, it is very easy. You just apply for a few problems, you'll get it. Now, I will take the same. I take the same. Sorry?
How did the 2 come, sir?
Which 2?
2x2 minus 1. 2x power.
D by dx of x power n is what? N into x power n minus 1, no? So d by d by dx of x square will be what? 2 into x power 2 minus 1. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now see, I'm taking y is equal to x square into sin x. So this is in which form? What rule should I apply? A product rule? And remember, the name of this rule is called as quotient rule. Okay? So f of x into g of x derivative is called as product rule. F of x by g of x is called as the quotient rule. Okay. So what should I apply? Should I apply quotient rule or product rule? Product rule. So how do I write it? It is f of x into g dash of x. So first write down the formula. So till you get used to this is f of x, this is g of x. So f of x into g dash of x plus g of x into f dash of x. So it is very simple. 1 and 2 are there, no? 1 into 2 dash plus 2 into 1 dash. You can remember like this. I hope it is clear. That 1 and 2 you can call it as u and v also. Then you will write it as uv dash plus vu dash. However you are comfortable. If numbers make you comfortable, then you can treat it as first function into derivative of second plus second into derivative of first. So f of x means what should I write?
1 and
Not 1.
could you repeat?
F of x means what should I write according to this question?
X square.
X square
X square into derivative of g of x is
cos x
Cos x.
that's it plus g of x is
Sin x.
sin x
into derivative of x square.
2x.
Got it? So answer will be x square cos x plus 2x sin x. You can leave it as it is. So y is equal to x square cos x plus 2x sin x. Guys, I'm repeating one point. You need to be very good with trigonometry if you want to master physics. Practice it. Not sure if they've started in your school, but once they started, ensure you're practicing it well. Okay. The next one is y is equal to x square divided by sin x. So f of x divided by g of x. So what is the formula? You can look at the formula. First you should write the denominator or numerator.
Numerator.
So it is like this. The formula is g of x into f dash of x minus f of x into g dash of x divided by g of x the whole square. So we can remember it like this. Numerator into derivative of, g of x is denominator. So denominator into derivative of numerator minus numerator into derivative of denominator divided by the denominator square. Are you guys able to understand? So apply the same formula and tell me. So denominator is what? So what will be the answer for this? Dy by dx. So what we do? No.
Sin 2x minus cos x square by sin x the whole square.
No. You should just write the denominator as it is. So it will be sin x. Okay. Into derivative of numerator. It is 2x. Minus is there in the formula itself. Numerator.
X square.
So derivative of denominator.
Cos x.
By
Sin square x.
Sin square. This is the form. So 2x into sin x minus x square cos x whole divided by sin square x. Are you able to understand? So this is what is the derivative of this particular function. So if you're clear with this, I will tell you how you are supposed to apply this in physics. Okay. So one important point to be kept in mind. Generally what happens, I've seen many people doing mistake. I'll tell you, for example, I'll tell you what is the mistake. Let's see if you're able to find it. So y is equal to c sine theta. What is dy by dx?
Cos theta.
Cos theta.
This is a mistake which everybody does. Okay, this is because of not understanding this when to differentiate it. See, y is equal to sine theta. Here, what is the dependent variable? What is the independent variable? Y is c
Y dependent.
dependent, and here theta is independent variable. Am I right? This point is clear in your
Yes,
mind.
sir. Understood. Sir.
Yeah. So dy by what am I doing? Am I doing dy by dx or dy by d theta?
Dx.
Dx. Is there any x in this expression?
No, sir.
So you should not differentiate it like that. Okay. So this is a very common mistake which people do because this point lacks. So you need to understand one thing. What is the meaning of dy by dx is, you can have this also in mind. Derivative of whom? Y means what? Dependent variable with respect to, so write it down. Derivative of dependent variable with respect to whom? What is the denominator?
X.
X. That is the independent variable with respect to independent variable. So wherever you see dy by d something, that the value which is in the numerator is always dependent and the value which is in the denominator is always independent. Okay. So this is a very important point you need to have in your mind. So how this concept actually comes to physics is, I'll give you some example problems.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, so LHS is always dependent and RHS is always independent, sir.
LHS should be only one term, one variable, that's it. One variable. See, for example, it should only be y. It should not be like sine y is equal to sine x. Not like this. It should just be y. It should only be one variable on the left hand side. And right hand side should be an expression. So I can tell it like this. Left hand side should be a variable. Right hand side should be an expression. Okay. So I'll give you some examples you can understand. If the displacement of particle is given by the expression S is equal to t square plus 2t. Okay. It is given by the expression S is equal to t square plus 2t. Find the velocity of the particle between 0 to 2 seconds. Okay. Find the velocity of the particle at 0 to 2 seconds and velocity of the particle at 2 seconds. Okay. So what is given in the question? The expression for S is given. So S is written in terms of t square. So S is equal to t square plus 2t. Find the velocity of the particle between 0 to 2 seconds and velocity of the particle at 2 seconds. So what does the first part of the question mean? What velocity are they asking? So yesterday I told you one important point. When they ask you a question about velocity, what are the two things they can ask?
Average velocity or instantaneous?
Instantaneous.
Average
So first part, are they asking the average or instant?
Average.
They are asking the average because you are using the word between. Okay. The second part, they are asking the instantaneous value because they're saying at. So now you will have a clarity, right? So if displacement is known, what is the formula for velocity? V is equal to delta S by delta T or ds by dt. Can I say this? Or it is also equal to ds divided by dt. So delta S by delta T is average. ds by dt is going to be instantaneous. Now observe. The first is, for average velocity, what you need to do is, So for average velocity, V average is equal to delta S by delta T, right? So delta S means it is S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. So here, what is the time interval that is given? 0 seconds to 2 seconds. So what is the displacement of the particle when T was 0? Here, if you observe mathematically, S is a function of time. Here T represents time, okay? So S is a function of time. Okay, so what is S of 0? It's treated like a polynomial equation. P of 0 means what will you do? 0. So S of 0 is 0. What is S of 2? S of 2 is 2 square, that is 4, plus 2 into 2. So it is 8. Okay, so S2 is 8. So T1 is 0 and T2 is 2. So take everything and substitute it there. V average will be equal to S2 minus S1. So 8 minus 0 divided by 2 minus 0. So what is 8 by 2? It will be 4 meter per second.
I can explain S2, sir. How you got the value of S2, sir?
It is not S2, it is S of 2. I substituted 2 here. In the place of T, I substituted 2. So this S of 2 means displacement of particle at 2 seconds. Okay, so average, I'm taking the final minus initial divided by 2 and I'm writing it as 4 meters per second square. Are you clear with this point?
Yes, sir.
Now see, where, sorry?
S is equal to T square minus 2T, right?
Plus, for instantaneous velocity. Okay, for instantaneous. So here what I did is I found out what is the value of S at 0 and what is the value of S at 2 and then subtracted. Whereas for instantaneous value, you need to first differentiate. So wherever you see the term instantaneous throughout physics, not only your 11th standard, throughout your lifetime, wherever you see instantaneous value, you need to differentiate. Okay. So for instantaneous velocity, we know that WKT stands for, we know that S is equal to T square plus 2T, right? Then if I differentiate this, what do I get? ds by dt will give me what? So had the question been y is equal to x square plus 2x, what will you do? So dy by dx will be equal to what?
2x
2x
plus
Plus
2.
Plus 2 into because derivative of x is 1. So if you have a doubt, d by dx of x is 1. You can make a note of it. Okay. So dy by dx will be 2x plus 2. Then what will ds by dt be? Instead of y in physics you have s, instead of x you have t. So ds by dt will be 2t
Plus 2.
That's it. Then what are they asking? ds by dt is the velocity. Now velocity at what time is asked? This is
At 2 seconds.
So velocity at 2 seconds will be equal to 2 into wherever t is there, substituted 2 plus 2. So what will you get the answer as?
6 meters.
You have to understand. So the
How
average
does
velocity.
2t become 2, sir?
Which one?
2t.
Because derivative of 2t. See, d by dt of 2t is nothing but, see, constant can be taken out. Here, what is the variable? 2 is the variable or t is the variable? So you have to look at the denominator. You're differentiating with respect to t. Right? So 2 is a constant. Constant can be taken out. So 2 into d by dt of t. What is the derivative of t with respect to t? So derivative of x with respect to x is 1, means derivative of t with respect to t will be it will be 1 only. So that's why I wrote it as 2. That is why this derivative of 2t became 2.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So that's why if you observe, the average velocity of the particle is 4 meters per second, whereas the instantaneous velocity of the particle is 6 meters per second. Can you guys calculate what is the instantaneous velocity at 1 second?
4 meters.
How much?
For this sum only, no, sir.
This sum only.
4 meters.
4 meters per second, right? Okay. So since you people have calculated what is the instantaneous velocity, can you try instantaneous acceleration? What is the instantaneous acceleration at t is equal to 1 second and t is equal to 2 seconds? So for me to get instantaneous acceleration, instantaneous means differentiation. What should I differentiate to get acceleration? So A is equal to delta V by delta T or
dv by dt.
dV by dt. So I need to differentiate V with respect to time. So if I have to differentiate V with respect to time, what does that we know? We know that V is equal to 2t plus 2. Then what is dV by dt?
Two, sir.
2 plus 1.
2. 2
Plus
into
1.
derivative of t is 1 plus derivative of a constant is 0. I will tell you why. You can make a note of this also. See, you might get confused between these 2 points. Here, the constant is multiplied with the variable. That is why I took the constant out and I differentiated the variable alone. Whereas here, if I see, I have only constant. 2 is just a constant. Derivative of a constant is 0 because I can write a constant as 2 into x power 0. I can write it like this. X power 0 is nothing but 1. So I can take this 2 out according to the same logic. 2 into d by dx of x power 0. For x power 0, if I apply the formula x power n into n minus 1, what will I get?
0.
That is why I wrote it as 0. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
you can have this in your mind. Derivative of a constant is equal to 0. But the derivative of a constant into variable is not 0. Don't get confused between these 2 points. So since 2 is a constant, I wrote it as 0. So dV by dt is nothing but A. A is equal to 2 meters per second square. So what is the acceleration of the particle at 1 second?
2 meter per second.
What is the acceleration at 2 seconds?
6 meters.
Look at the expression. Look at the expression. What is the acceleration here? So is the acceleration dependent on time? So here you got different values because the velocity was dependent on time. Whereas here is the acceleration dependent on time.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So that is why
It will be 2 only.
It will be 2 only. Whether it is 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, any time, acceleration is a constant. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, could you repeat the last point?
Which part?
The last one.
Yeah, last one what I told is since acceleration is independent of time, so how will I find, looking at the expression, how I can find whether it is dependent or independent is at the question being 2t, then acceleration is dependent on time. If a is equal to only 2, it is independent of time. Okay, if t is involved in this expression, then it is dependent. If t is not involved, it is independent. So if you observe this, look at this expression, what we have got. Okay, this is not the one which we framed. We got by differentiation. We did nothing. Is this expression dependent on time or not? So is this dependent on time or not? Tell me that point alone.
No.
No,
No,
right?
sir.
So it is a constant. So whichever parameter is independent of time is a constant. Okay. So A is equal to 2
Okay, sir.
meters, 2 meters per second square. So it is a constant. That's it. So I can show you one best example of what you already know. How this differentiation will help you. We know this expression, right? S is equal to ut plus half at square.
Yes, sir.
Right. In this, what are all the variables? So how many variables are there on the right hand side?
3.
3. I should not use the word variables. Okay. I'll use the variables only. There are 3. What are the 3? U,
U, T, and A.
T,
U,
A.
T, and A. Out of all the 3, which one is constant? So this is
Acceleration.
acceleration. Yesterday I told you, S is equal to ut plus half at square is applicable only when acceleration is
Acceleration
It's constant.
this, you know. You remember, right? Acceleration should be constant. Similarly, initial velocity is also constant. Why I am saying initial velocity is constant? Because the object can have velocity at initial time only once. Okay. If an object is starting with 0 meter per second, that 0 meter per second is fixed. It will not change with respect to time. You're able to understand this. So U is also a constant. Right? Now, this is an expression. This is a function of displacement in terms of time. Mathematically, if I have to speak, there is a function in terms of time. In physics, it is nothing but an equation for displacement in terms of time. Okay. If I differentiate the displacement with respect to time, what will I get? If I differentiate the displacement with respect to time, what will I get? I asked a very basic question. It is nothing but velocity.
Yes, sir.
So velocity, I should get V. Okay. Now look at the way I'm going to differentiate. ds by dt is equal to, this is f of x. This whole thing is g of x.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So d by dt, derivative of ut plus derivative of half at square. Whatever is there, just write it as it is. Okay. So what will come out of the differentiation for the first one? This is the first one, this is the second one. What will come out of the derivative? Whatever is constant can come out. What is constant out of u and t?
U.
U.
So u into d by dt of t plus what will come out of this one?
A.
Only a?
Half
Half,
and A.
half A.
Half a will come out. So d by dt of t square.
T square.
Right? So u into, what is the derivative of t with respect to t? I've told you twice. Derivative of x with
1.
respect, it is 1. So u into 1 plus half a into derivative of t square?
2T.
T.
2t.
2T.
So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. U and 1 is u plus a into t. What is this u plus at? Is it not the velocity?
Yes, sir.
So this is another way to analyze. Are you able to understand this? No.
Understood.
Now, to understand things even more better, I have got the expression for velocity. If I differentiate this, what will I get again? So if I differentiate it, left hand side, what will I have? I will have dv by dt. What is dv by dt?
Displacement.
No. ds by dt.
Acceleration.
dv by dt is acceleration. Right. So dv
Yes.
by dt is nothing but d by dt of u plus d by dt of at. So u is a constant or a variable?
Constant.
Constant.
U is a constant. So what is the derivative of a constant?
0.
Zero plus out of at, what is constant and what is variable? Again,
A is constant. T.
a. So a into d by dt of t. So derivative of t with respect to t.
1.
1. So 0 plus a into 1, a. So dv by dt is a. We know this. So left hand side is dv by dt, right hand side we got a. This is also a known fact, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you use the differentiation to apply in different contexts. So I've showed you the same thing in a different perspective, that's it. So the facts which are already known to you, I showed you using differentiation. So now, by this time, I hope you got some clarity of when to use differentiation. Wherever you see instantaneous, you need to apply differentiation. So wherever you see instantaneous, first differentiate, then substitute the value. Wherever you see average, first substitute the value and then solve. So it is just the reverse of each other. Okay. So these are all the concepts which are based on differentiation. I've covered everything related to differentiation which are needed, at least for this chapter. Don't worry, in this chapter you will not use sine theta and cos theta and all. You will use only polynomial expressions. So if you're clear with this, we'll wind up. The next class I will teach you how to integrate things so that you will understand. So everything cannot be taught at the same time. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then note down certain questions I will give you. I want you to differentiate and tell me what is the answer. So, first question. Differentiate the following. So, y is equal to x square plus 3x. Find dy by dx at x is equal to 3. So, what is the meaning of this? Find dy by dx at x is equal to 3 means what should I do? Differentiate y.
And then substitute.
Differentiate and then substitute. Don't substitute and differentiate. You will get wrong answer. Okay. Good. So similarly, s is equal to t cube plus 3t square plus 2t plus 1. Find ds by dt at t is equal to 1 second.
Sir, 3x will be 3, no, sir, when we differentiate.
2x plus 3.
No, sir, 3x will be 3 when we differentiate.
Yeah, 3x will be 3. Yeah. Now, to slightly make you understand the concept, I'm just slightly complicating stuff. S is equal to t square into sin t. Find ds by dt at t is equal to pi by 4. T square by cos t. Find ds by dt at t is equal to pi by 3. Pi by 3 seconds. So these are all the homework problems.
So can I convert that into degrees, sir, the radians into degree, no, sir?
It's radian only. Pi by 3 is radian only.
So can I convert to degrees, sir?
Don't do that. Practice in radians itself. When are you going to learn? See, after this, no degrees and all. You will have everything in radians.
So for the fourth one, the answer can be in pi.
It will be in terms of pi only.
Okay, sir.
You will get pi square and all. Pi square, yeah, you will get pi square also. Somewhere. The answer will be in terms of pi into pi and root 2 combination.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you can try these problems. These are all the problems. If you understand this, that is more than sufficient for the physics concept at least. Okay. So you'll be able to solve the problems in this chapter. Next class, I'll teach you how to integrate things. Okay. So just revise this topic again. You'll feel as if you have understood, but it will be slightly confusing. So practice them so that you are able to master it. Okay. So I'll see you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.